Greetings, fellow Frank Kern Inner Circle members. My name is Matthew Burgess. I had a chance to attend the members only event in La Jolla a couple weeks back, and I hope you did too. I've got a couple of thoughts, and I want to share something with you that I hope will help with your business and implementing some of the things that we learned there. So, if you recall, it all started off with a pretty cool opening presentation where Frank gave us some governing beliefs, including this one: there's no victory without discipline. I love this one, right? And then he walked us through a number of campaigns and architectures and ideas and things that have been working for him, and it was pretty amazing. I think you'd all agree. He delivered, if not over delivered, on our expectations, and it was pretty amazing. So I have a question for you, which was raised quite a few times in conversations with people. Actually, two questions. First, so did you feel a bit overwhelmed by questions you had related to the technology, the platforms, the tools? What should I use? How should I implement it? I'm not quite sure which tool to use. And did you leave with amazing ideas, marketing ideas, business ideas, but you just wondered how to implement them? Well, a lot of people had that thought as well that I talked to, and it was clear from the Q&A. So I thought I'd help out with at least one thing, which is the tutorial. And I decided to record some details about how I use countdown timers. So, I am a systems guy that builds these things, and I use InfusionSoft, and I use DeadlineFunnel, and you might be using something different. I hope this is helpful nevertheless. But this is a quick tutorial, just an overview of the strategy and setup and integration for setting up DeadlineFunnel with InfusionSoft. Hope it helps. So just a quick introduction. My name is Matthew Burgess. That's what I look like, and I was lurking around in the event. I hope I met you. If I didn't meet you, please say hi in the Facebook group. I'd love to get to know you and hear about your business a little bit more. My business is Creatalytics, digital marketing, and if you're wondering, yes, of course, Creatalytics is a word. It's defined as a process of merging creative and analytical modes of thinking, typically in a virtuous cycle reinforced through a feedback loop. This is how I set up systems. This is how I do testing of creative ideas, whether it's advertising or split testing of landing pages, or even building out teams in companies. I like to merge creative thinking and analytical thinking and put them together in a system where they feed each other. You put creative ideas in a system, and then you have an analytical approach. You make data-driven marketing decisions, which then feeds you back into a creative loop. Pretty cool stuff, I think. It's a nice way of looking at it. Of course, there's definition 2, which is anything I say it means, since, I made the word up. So moving on, there's steps in this tutorial real quick here. There's going to be some campaign strategy with regards to technology, right? Initial setup in InfusionSoft, initial setup in DeadlineFunnel, using the timer in the InfusionSoft campaigns, and then what the outcome looks like. Now, I'll tell you, this is a lot of material. So this highlighted section here, I'm actually going to take this out of this shorter presentation here and just give you an overview real quick of what's going on and what interacts with what, so you have a good sense. I have all this detail in another presentation. If you'd like to see it and dive in all its geeky glory, just let me know. I'll send it to you, okay? So, step 1, the first thing you want to do is you want to ask when the countdown is going to start, right? And in what context, right? This tells us how to set it up. So Frank gave us some examples. Here's an example. For a company called Superlife, I do work for them on their digital marketing, and we set up this essentially a lead magnet, which was a 5-day challenge. We're going to give them 5 days of email, and this is what it looks like in InfusionSoft, essentially. The first 5 days are going to be emails, and there's going to be actions in there. We're going to give them recipes and other things for them to click on. This is the click sequence that leads us to the countdown sequence, if you recall. So what we're looking for is, did they take action? Was there some behavioral action which suggested that they're interested in this topic as it relates to our core offering that follows? And that starts the countdown sequence, right? And when the countdown sequence starts, it starts with a tag. This tag triggers the creation of the countdown, right? So then, of course, how it does that is it fires an HTTP post campaign off to DeadlineFunnel, and that's all set up with DeadlineFunnel. And then from there on, you'll have some information that you can use to populate your emails and write copy. This all starts with behavioral tagging in the emails. This is how we gauge interest, right? So here's an email in that Superlife campaign. Both that text link and that button are tagged for a click, downloaded the resource as it relates to that particular lead magnet 005 5-day challenge. Downloaded resource. If anybody clicks on those and gets that resource, they've got that tag. And then when we go back over here in that decision time and where we're asking click, what we're really saying is a tag present that shows the interest we're looking for? And that's that tag. It goes in there and it fires everything. So that's how that works. So then moving on, the next step, so initial setup in InfusionSoft. The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to create a unique custom field. Now it's important that you create a unique field for every countdown timer that you've got in DeadlineFunnel, and you may have multiple countdown timers set up for different campaigns and contexts. This will be the text field on each contact record. The DeadlineFunnel will populate with the text of the expiration date and time, which then you can use as a merge field in your emails. Then you're going to create a unique tag, and again, as before, it has to be a unique tag for each countdown timer that you set up, right? And that campaign, as we saw before, has a countdown sequence, and that sequence begins with applying the trigger tag here, right? And then, of course, we have to create the HTTP post, and this is where a lot of the magic happens. So then they're set up in DeadlineFunnel, and I'm actually going to list these here, but then I'm going to skip right through this. There's a lot of detail in DeadlineFunnel, and it's really quite a powerful tool. I can tell you that Jack Bourne and his team really thought this through. So I'm not going to include the details in this video, but I've got extensive slides, as I've said, for anybody who wants it. So just let me know. So what does it look like? The outcome. So you've got emails now that can insert this image. This is an image with an image URL that's provided by DeadlineFunnel. That's the mechanics of that. And they will, of course, serve that image and keep track of it and make sure it's tick-tocking all the way down to nothing, right? And then as you're building emails, you've got delay timers in your email sequence. So I can write this email, as you can see here up at the top, I can write into the copy 24 hours left. And I can time this email so it goes out with 24 hours left. And I can be as detailed in my delay timers as I want. So I could make that email at 24 hours left. I can make it at 3 hours left. I can make it at 32 minutes left, whatever I want. This is pretty powerful. And then further down here in the email, you can see this is the merge field. This is that custom text, that custom field, that text field that DeadlineFunnel populated with the date and time of the expiration for that particular contact. Now what that looks like when it shows up in an email is this. Sunday the 1st at 5:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there's different ways of formatting that, all sorts of choices with regards to that. So this is pretty cool. I love this. So then the next thing is, of course, there's going to be your landing page or your sales page. And in this case, this is Darren O'Lean. He formulated Shakeology for Beachbody. He's known as the Indiana Jones of superfood. This is a little VSL on this page, and the countdown timer is going. And of course, when the countdown timer has expired for someone, they're going to land somewhere else, right? They're going to land on this page. And again, this is what DeadlineFunnel handles. You give it the URL of the page before and the page after the timer has expired. They handle all that, and then they give you one link that you then put in all your links in your emails. Your outbound links in your emails is a DeadlineFunnel URL, and then they redirect depending on the timing. Pretty cool how that works. So one other example, of course, you may recognize this guy in this really sharp-looking VSL sales page here. With a great haircut. Man, that is a nice haircut. And man, what is in that box? I'm so curious. But if I don't act soon, in time, of course, I get redirected to this page. That's how it works. DeadlineFunnel handles all this. So listen, I hope that helps. That is the overview. I know it is a lot of technical detail just in this. So to call it an overview is kind of crazy, I know. But there's a lot more detail. I'm really good at this stuff. So Creatalytics Digital Marketing is my company. Again, my name is Matthew Burgess. I'm a systems guy. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I've built and sold many businesses. I've advised and been an angel investor to quite a few businesses. And Creatalytics Digital Marketing is building these systems that guys like Frank teach us about. He teaches us the strategy and the architecture, and then I can build them. So I hope that helps, and if I can be of assistance in any way, please let me know.